Mr. Bilbo, where are you off to?
I'm going on an adventure!
Welcome back, everybody. That was a clip from The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, which opens in theaters December 14th. I'm so excited.
So excited, too. And joining us in studio right now is Thorin Oakenshield himself, Richard Armitidge. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, as we saw earlier in today's show, a whole bunch of The Hobbit is going on at Union Station this morning, and obviously it's had its world premiere. So what has the fan reaction been like to The Hobbit so far for you?
Do you know what? We were in Wellington on Sunday, and the response was incredible. I mean, just the response to the premiere being there.
Yeah.
I don't think many of them had actually seen the film, but the atmosphere was so amazing. And Neil Finn did a set, and they flew a huge jumbo jet with our faces painted on it over the red carpet. But yeah, everyone's really excited to see it, and the response so far has been pretty awesome.
I'm not surprised at all. You actually were in the stage production of The Hobbit, where you played an elf. If I'm not mistaken, is that true?
You've done your research.
I have. So, now that you've done a dwarf and an elf, can you talk about the comparison? Which one you prefer?
Yeah, my little nephew actually described this. He said, you know, hanging out with elves would be like watering plants and doing the gardening. Hanging out with dwarves would be just the best party in the world, and he pretty much got it right, because dwarves just like a good drink, a good joke, and a good a good meal. So yeah, it's definitely about dwarves.
You want to hang out with the dwarves?
You do.
Well, on that note, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're a method actor, so were you trying to stay in character as Thorin in between takes, and do you then just drink a lot of ale? And...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether I am a method actor. There is something that I apply to the work, but I did stay with the character as much as possible, because there was a lot of concentration needed, and unfortunately he is a pretty bad-tempered, cantankerous old git. So that was tough, but so I tried to find elements of humour. So hanging out with the lads on set was a way of breaking that kind of seriousness.
Well, when you are the leader of the dwarfs, it's also your responsibility to lead them in song.
You're absolutely right.
So we're going to take a look at some of the singing.
Am I doing it live?
No, we got a clip.
Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, the pines were roaring on the height, the winds were moaning in the night.
That is some amazing singing. You actually have a background in musical theater, so how did that help you, or how did that inform, you know, this particular role?
We wanted him to sound like he wasn't a trained singer. I mean, I'm not that trained, but I can sing. So we sort of worked to make him sound like a warrior that just had this song inside of him. And to me, it was like a mantra, like a cradle song to our young dwarves, so that they would never forget what happened to them at the mountains. So, and I think that you feel that from that scene, that it's kind of sacred. So it was a joy to make that work.
Well, we know from The Lord of the Rings that there was a lot of camaraderie amongst the cast. They all got matching tattoos, the 9 of them. So what was it like working with this huge cast of all the other dwarves and The Hobbit and Gandalf?
Did you mess up their names too?
You know what, it did. I always got Philly and Killy the wrong way around, but I did work out a way of figuring it out. Killy means cute. Philly, I can't tell you what that one means, but you can imagine. But yeah, I mean, the thing about being on an ensemble like this is that there is so much spirit on set. And, you know, you take a little bit of everyone's character and you build your own character through your relationship with everybody else. And, you know, the actors interacting with each other, it's like the actor and the character meet. So it was great. There was a really good spirit on set.
Did you ever have one of those sort of oh my God moments where it hit you that you were part of this just massive epic?
My very first day on set, when the door opens in Bag End, which is actually one of Thorin's first entrances, and I sort of looked up and saw Ian McKellen staring down at me dressed as Gandalf, and I actually lost my line, because I was like, what am I doing? I'm in Middle Earth looking at Gandalf, and So, you know, but obviously you can go again. It's not live, it's not real. So, but yeah, it did take me a while to sort of stop pinching myself. But
Because were you a big fan? Like, were you a fan of the books when you were growing up? Was this a world that you've been a part of?
yeah, I mean, I was a huge fan of the trilogy in the books, but then Peter's realization of Middle-earth was so close to my own imagination that I wouldn't say I was obsessed, but I did watch them over and over. So walking into Bag End and seeing that little house and all the detail and everything is made, absolutely everything. There is nothing, there are bookbinders, there are glass blowers that work for Weta, and absolutely everything has been created, and it's in incredible detail.
I want to move in.
You really would.
I want to, and I can't wait to see it. I'm actually going to see an advanced screening tonight, but the rest of Canada will have to wait until December 14th. But thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having
Such a
me.
pleasure chatting with you. Stay tuned. We have more coming up after the break.